Hey guys, it is DT Physique, and today I'm going to be talking about the Liver King and why the Liver King was a warning to Hollywood and to anybody who's fake natural on the internet, specifically with the thought of getting views and just the thought of negatively portraying yourself on the internet in order to make money, in order to sell a certain supplement, and in order to preach something that isn't true because you're masking it behind your PD use. Off the bat, I want to speak directly on Hollywood. Now, if you're looking at Hollywood actors, can you think of a Hollywood actor that you want to look like? Of course, everybody has a Hollywood actor that they want to look like. However, this has such a negative impact on people because it gives them such unrealistic body standards. This both applies for when you're thinking about yourself and when you're thinking about other people. So when you think about other people, say you expect someone who's in shape to look like Chris Hemsworth. Sorry, Trensworth. Chris Trensworth. Now, it's one of those things where Hollywood has made the status quo so unbelievably unshootable that now what they have to do is they have to Photoshop people and they have to make things look completely unrealistic in order to possess this body image that this person's a supernatural. Look at The Rock in Black Adam. You're seriously going to say that that's a natural physique? Oh, it's just the hard work. Guys, it's just the hard work. The hardest worker in the room. It's quite obvious that he's on steroids and has been on steroids. You don't need to be a genius to figure these things out. Like, even people that don't know much about bodybuilding know that that is definitely not achievable natural. And it's one of those things where now Hollywood should be looking at the Liver King situation because he lied about his PD usage and he lied about what he was taking and he lied to get supplement buys. The Liver King should now be an example of why people need to be more transparent about what they're taking. Because if it's just revealed later, then it's going to make them look completely unfaithful, such as it's done with the Liver King. But the thing is now, is this has had a whole reverse effect on Liver King, because now it's not like everybody doesn't like the Liver King. Now it's either you like the Liver King or you don't. But no matter what, you're still talking about him. It's the same thing with people like Andrew Tate. Now, obviously off subject of fitness. I mean, I have my own fitness opinions about him. But even if you're talking about him in a good light or a negative light, it benefits him because you're talking about him. It doesn't matter if you hear Liver King in a bad way or Liver King in a good way. You're just hearing Liver King. Companies do this all the time. Like, companies will purposely have bad media get onto them just so people talk about the product, and then when they forget about that bad thing that they've done, when they think of something, like say a cola brand decides that to save money, they're going to have a factory based in a country where the minimum wage is really low, and they underpay their workers. The workers don't have a livable wage, right? Now, that only doesn't save money, but once this thing gets leaked, then people are going to be talking about it, and then when people forget about that factory and they think about a cola they want to drink, they're going to drink that cola. And it's one of those things where it's the same thing with steroids usage. So if we're looking at Liver King preaching the 9 ancestral tendons and selling supplements, then we're looking at, it doesn't matter if people know about his PD usage or not. What matters is that people are talking about him still. And that's one of the reasons why exposing him in a way was one of the best things that has happened to him. I mean, it's the same thing with, say, rappers when they die. When rappers die, typically their music becomes so much more popular. Like, it's crazy. Like, I always make the joke with my friends that one of the best things that these guys do for their PR is die, because people will listen to them way more, and then you get a whole train of people that are bandwagoning on them, like, oh my god, gone too soon. He was my favorite basketball player when he was a rapper. You know, it's that joke. But that being said, it's one of those things where it's having such a negative effect on society that Hollywood is preaching these unreachable physiques that the normal person is going to think, like, for example, I have a 14-year-old that goes to the gym. I've seen this 14-year-old many times, And I was like, hey, like, what's your fitness goal? And he was like, oh, like, one day I hope to, like, build enough muscle. I want to look like The Rock. I want to look like people like Mike O'Hearn. Like, he's looking at all these people, and he thinks it's achievable natural. And I'm like, to me, it's impactful because he's the youth. He is the people that these guys are affecting the most. And if you're looking at the unreachableness of these physiques, like I told a kid that these people are on something called steroids. He didn't know what steroids were. Like he didn't even know what a steroid was. He didn't know what kind of drugs these were. And I'm like, these are things that these guys use to get those physiques. But later it's going to bite them back because they're going to end up dying way sooner. Steroids will kill you. They will. It's not a matter of when or if. It is a matter of they're going to do it. It's just when is it going to happen. Now, it's not a matter of, we're going to die anyways. I might as well die at 50 and jacked. Like, it's one of those things where you never know. Once you get closer to the age, like, you're going to see the negative effects. Look at Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie Coleman, one of those bodybuilders, absolutely blasted steroids. I mean, even if you look at before when he wasn't on steroids, he still looked like a freak of nature because genetics play a role into it. And it's one of those things where people don't realize that. You could take steroids and just look awful. Like, you can look like you're not even on anything. You could take steroids and still look like the skinniest guy. It all depends on how you respond to the steroids and how your body responds to the steroids. And it's one of those things where these movie actors will commonly take these because they have the money to do it and they have the pressure to put on a role. Now, here's the thing. You could be like, if I was in their position, I would never do it. If you had a $16 million offer and they were like, you just need to get in shape and you need to get big muscles, you would 100% do it. There's not one person on this planet that won't be like, no, I'm not taking that no matter what. I mean, I guess if you're already rich, then like it's one of those things where, of course you can refuse it. But I feel like for the normal person, if they offered you $16 million to take steroids and get an unreachable physique for the normal person, you'd 100% do it. Let's all be honest with ourselves. There is no person that would not take that offer, get that money just because they're taking the steroids and they can get off of it after. That's the thing. When these guys off cycle, it's so obvious when they off cycle and then on cycle. Like if you look at, say, the movie clip from Thor, the new Thor, you think that this is achievable. Not only has it been with steroids, because steroids used to be the thing. It just used to be steroids, they build the body, and that's it. Now, we're talking about steroids, we're talking about digital enhancement, we're talking about absolutely everything, Photoshop, absolutely everything that you can do to build the perfect physique. Now, that's the problem. Now, people are changing what the perfect physique actually is. So, if we're looking at your average aesthetic physique, we're looking at something that's achievable by people. When we're looking at getting into steroids and all that, why is this defined as a perfect physique? It is unreachable. And I'm not saying like, it's 100% impossible. You need to have insane genetics plus steroids. And you need to respond to those steroids. You need to hyper respond to the steroids in order to get this physique. It's one of those things where people just assume that these things are achievable natural because these people did it. Waking up at 5 a.m. does not get you that physique. Waking up at 4 a.m. doesn't get you this physique. Even taking steroids doesn't get you this physique. Unless, of course, you hyper respond to it. It's one of those things where the Liver King needs to be a warning that it is bad to lie about this stuff because people catch you. Once people catch you, then usually you get like deplatformed and stuff. But the Liver King, it seems to not be the case. I still see the Liver King on my feed, regardless of if he's taking steroids or not. And he's still living this unique lifestyle, and he's still getting money off of this. It's one of those things where, it's bad, but they've already done it. And I'm saying that the only way that this is solvable is if Hollywood has a sort of a reform of what perfect body image is. Now, I can exclude superhero films because they're supposed to be freaks of absolute nature. They're not supposed to be regular humans. But people don't realize that when they see a regular human on screen, they're like, yes, that is my physique. I'm going to look like that. I'm going to look like a superhero. They're superheroes. They're not supposed to depict a real human. They are unnatural. That is the whole point of a superhero. But if we're talking like it is a normal ass movie, even normal ass movies, they have people taking steroids to look just absolutely insane. If you look at, say, Black Adam, for example, this guy is literally supposed to be a god. And you're saying that you can achieve that naturally. Whew. God, like, it's one of those things where people just don't understand the differences, and that is the issue with Hollywood. That's why it is negative to have all these guys taking steroids and having all these things that are unreachable. And guess what? It is fine they're taking steroids. It's fine. I am saying it's fine. I'm saying it's not fine that they're not open about it. Oh, I woke up at 5 a.m. I ate chicken, broccoli, rice. Oh, I had this special shake where I put some, like, protein in it, and I put some chia seeds, and I put absolutely everything, drank it, got jacked, and now I'm absolutely ripped. It's one of those things where the movie stars are saying all this. Like, even look at Ryan Reynolds. Like, yeah, oh, it was an interview. He was like, I have this slop, and that's what I would eat, and that's it. A slop would get you this physique? I don't think so. That's all I wanted to talk about in this video, guys. Hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment down below, and go check out my other videos. I'm DFT Physique, and I am out.